Hello, everyone, and welcome to iReadit, bringing you your weekly dose of the internet for Sunday, December 2nd, 2018. I am Michael Cohen. Holy God, I am way too loud. Hang on. I can fix that, maybe. Anyway, hang on a second. Where am I? Hey, Nathan, how are you, buddy?
Keely is feeling all right.
You are also too loud. Cool.
Really tired.
That's my favorite. I haven't changed.
Questioning why existence happens.
I have not changed anything yet. Everything is messed up.
Oh, it's pain.
I love that. I love it when I change nothing. How much you want to bet that something else got changed without me saying that it should be changed? Oh, would you look at that? All right, now for everyone, that should be what is now closer to a normal audio level. I hope. I apologize to everyone. Nathan, nope. You get fucked, bro.
It's the same audio levels.
Well, it probably sounds the same to you, but what's actually being piped out to everyone else is going...
The exact same.
Exact same, yep.
Except 2 decibels higher.
No, that needs to actually be the opposite direction.
That's too damn bad.
That's too damn bad. Can't manage that.
Oh, motherfuck.
What'd you do?
I don't have coffee.
Oh, that's a fucking travesty, buddy.
I drank a little bit of my cup last night before going to sleep.
Is there a cold, sad cup sitting there with you?
Yeah, but it's empty.
Oh. I thought you said you only drank a little bit of it.
Yeah, the little bit that I had in my cup. It got real cold because my window is open. The cup, not the contents. There's no contents. I drank that.
So are you also real cold?
No. Because I got like this pad for my hammock from my parents for my my birthday.
Your birthday was Thanksgiving.
It keeps me goddamn so fucking warm. I wake up sweaty. I think I'm, dying, but I'm not.
Oh, you're just trying to sweat off what little extra weight you have. The last remaining 5 fat cells.
Exactly. I've been getting a little chubby in my belly, actually, because I don't do any fucking thing aside from eat at work.
Yep, office job, don't do anything, derp.
It's pretty good. I like it. It's not bad. I don't see why everybody's all upset about it.
I don't know. Well, please remember, everyone, you can help support this show by going to patreon.com/dailyinternet.
You could not.
Or that wouldn't support us, though.
It's true.
I mean, listening to us supports us, so thank you for at least doing that.
I mean, it's up to you guys, really. Whatever.
You can pick up some of our merchandise in the link below. We have several shirts available for you. Our logo, we have the Sucks to Suck shirt, which you can see on me right now if you were looking at the video version. We have the I Didn't Vote For You shirt. We have the Puns Are Us shirt. Got some options for you. And as always, please remember that you can submit anything that you want us to talk about, whether it's a news story, an idea, a theory, just want our opinion on something. Do that by going to Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Reddit. All of those are at iRedditCast. Just get in contact with us, send it to us, and we'll be happy to chat about it. So, the first order of business today, Nathan. Tell me, sir, where were you during the great Anchorage earthquake? The great Anchorage earthquake of 2018.
I was asleep in my hammock. Go figure, right?
I knew it. I was like,
well, so listen, all right. It was 8:30. I was asleep because I have work theoretically at 5, so I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna go to sleep at 4, get a few hours in, wake up, do my thing, go to work, it'll be great. So I wake up to the fucking ground shaking. I run over underneath my bathroom door frame, and before I know it, it's over, and I'm like, well, that's not so fucking bad. And I try to go back to sleep, and I'm like, wait a second, I should probably turn on the lights to see if there was any damage. I turn on the lights, my TV is almost horizontal as it's falling off the back of my desk as it's pushed it forward. My VHSs are fucking everywhere. My lava lamp didn't break, thank God. But
Oh man, that would have been gross to clean.
my Power Rangers Christmas special VHS is broken.
Oh no.
I have another one on the way, so it's whatever.
Nice.
And then the TV downstairs is broken.
Oh, that sucks.
So that was actually a pretty decent sized TV.
Yeah, most people are experiencing broken TVs right now.
Well, yeah, it's very understandable. They're large, thin things.
So for those that don't know, Anchorage, Alaska, which is where we reside, recently experienced a 7.0 earthquake that was only about 5 miles away from the actual center of the city. It was about 22 miles underneath the surface of the earth. It was quite the shaker.
With 0 casualties.
I don't know if we haven't had 0 casualties. We've had 0 fatalities.
Oh, that's close enough.
No one's been killed. There's been a couple people that were hurt. But it did shake quite a bit, and then right after the 7.0, we had a follow-up 5.8 aftershock that was only like 10 minutes later, and then there was a few others that were over 5 throughout the day as it continued to settle itself out.
Yeah, it was fun, you know.
I was in my car because it actually took place at like 8:29, and I was at the stoplight right next to my work, like waiting to go into work. And initially, I thought something was wrong with my car because it was doing this because it was rocking back and forth, and I was like, what's going on? And then I looked up and I saw the other cars moving and the street lights bouncing. I'm like, oh, it's just an earthquake. And then right about that moment, it went shake, and I was like, oh. But you put your back into that one, did you? Okay.
I remember being up here under the door frame thinking, shit, this is kind of large. If I fall through the floor, man, it's going to suck. But, whatever. If I die, at least I don't have to go to work.
Yeah, and then I went on to work, and everyone's like, you missed it. And I'm like, no, I didn't. Trust me. Everything shook real big. Like,
I got a message saying, hey, don't come into work today. And I was like, what? Don't tell me you're going to shoot up the place.
No, oh, damn, bro. Yeah.
What? No. I mean...
Well, a lot of people immediately started to panic because we had a tsunami warning blasted out to everyone's phones. I mean, that's normally what creates a tsunami is a massive earthquake. We're not going to
get a fucking tsunami here.
It would be very difficult for a tsunami to actually hit Anchorage.
The statistics is fucking stupid. You're not getting a goddamn tsunami.
But we still received the alert, and then we had the 5.8 aftershock, and that made a lot of people panic, including my boss, who was like, well, I'm leaving to higher ground. You're all dismissed. And I was like, oh, okay.
That's what my neighbor did. He fled.
A lot of people did. But the unfortunate thing is like the people that are getting sent home from work, that's one thing. It was everyone that's like, okay, well, my house is okay. I need to go check on the 10 to 15 other people. But since everyone's trying to make phone calls right now, I can't make a call out. So I'll just drive over there and check on them. There were so many people out. Like, I left work and I was like, Mom's house is real close to here. I'll just go to Mom's house. I'm sure she had a bunch of stuff all over. She has a lot of big, heavy stuff. And I was like, I'll help her clean that up. And so I get there, and sure enough, she's trying to pick up this big, massive toolbox. And I was like, Mom, you're almost 60 years old. Stop, move. And so I helped her clean up her shop and got everything cleaned up, made sure everyone was okay. And then I was like, well, I guess I'm going to go sit in the parking lot that is the roads because I need to go start cleaning my house.
Mm-hmm.
Luckily, Zach had already driven the path to my house, essentially, because his girlfriend, Rachel, lives across the street from us, basically.
Oh, cool.
And he was like, hey, don't take this road. Take this.
She lives in that, like, little forest area? Got ya.
No, she lives across Northern Lights.
She like some kind of fairy?
Yes.
She lives in a little forested swamp area?
I mean, she's close enough.
That's her domain.
Anyway, and so I thankfully was able to get home fairly quickly because Zach was like, this road is open, this road is open, this road is open. I was like, cool. Thank you, Zach. Thank you for helping us through all that. Speaking of Rachel, she literally just entered the chat room. In case you missed it, Rachel, we have designated that you are a fairy and that the forest is your domain and that the little sprite that you are exists in the bog.
No. Little sprite, motherfucking. She's an archfey, all right? She is her own independent goddamn fey, and you will recognize her as such.
Understood, sir. My apologies. I humbly request the forgiveness of the archfey.
Don't fucking apologize to me.
In any case, so made it home. Our house was a mess from the earthquake, but fortunately nothing was that bad. Our Rachel, goddammit, our TV.
And now with Rachel.
Our TV was bolted to the wall, so it was perfectly fine. But we only lost a couple things that were meaningful. A couple of them we're going to try and get repaired. Everything else we were just like, man, well, time to start cleaning. The house is cleaner now than it was before the earthquake.
Yeah, this fucking earthquake left a bunch of dirty dishes in my fucking dishwasher.
Yeah, right? Damn, and a pile of dirty clothes in the corner? How could it?
Yeah, fucking assholes. It really messed up my room.
Let's see. Kendall in the chat room, who is a mutual friend of both of ours, says, I was at work. I'm a toddler teacher. In the mornings, all the kids are in the preschool room, so I was in the toddler room when it started. I froze because all I could think was getting to the preschool and toddler kiddos. My coworker ended up pulling me under the table. Well, I would just like to...
Yeah, but did they pull the kiddos under the table, too?
I don't know.
Were the kiddos just, like, running around? Yeah!
Dude, this is awesome! No concept of danger. Unless you're my 4-year-old niece, who I believe is still hidden under a blanket on the couch 2 days later.
That's like my cat. My cat was sleeping with my roommate, and as soon as it started, he, like, jumped out of his arms and fucking booked it. And he's like, God damn it, and I can't go find him now. So we waited until the first, like, initial shock was over, and then we found him, and he was hiding in a corner between a mattress and a bed because the mattress had shifted. And the second one started just as we found him, and he was like freaking the fuck out, and he was continuing to freak the fuck out the entire weekend, constantly running up and down, but like staying real low when he runs.
We had a lot of aftershocks yesterday, and like after the earthquake, because the earthquake happened at 8:30, there were aftershocks that you could feel all the way up until I went to sleep past 11 p.m. There were more in the morning when I woke up. So like, I mean, animals are also significantly more receptive to that. So
yeah, little bastard.
Just
wanted to get back to sleep.
So, but we're all good. Everyone's good. Everyone's fine. We had a couple of damaged roads, but Anchorage got hit by like a 9.2 or a 9.1 back in 1964 that literally broke the city in half. And after that, a whole bunch of regulations were put in place so that there were prevention measures so that that wouldn't happen again. And it looks like it's paid off because there was like one building that caught fire, a few water lines that busted, and a couple of roads that got damaged.
There's a couple of gas lines too throughout like smaller residential houses.
But ultimately, damage was pretty minimal.
Yeah.
So we are thankful on that side. We are all okay. I am glad to report that everyone I know is okay.
Yeah, no, everyone I know is okay.
Although I will say, like, man, people panic really hardcore. Like, it was like the problem was people panicking.
No, absolutely. Panic was the thing that caused the most trouble. The earthquake itself isn't bad.
Yeah. I mean, the earthquake just basically said, yo, you got to clean for a while.
Yeah, pretty much.
But ultimately, all in all, we're all good. Anchorage has went through worse and will probably go through worse in the future, so.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Unfortunately. Let's just wait to see what this current governor's administration does, and we'll use that as a measuring stick, shall we?
I guess.
I
mean, it's the... I don't know. I don't know. I'm too fucking dead right now.
Just be dead, sir.
Okay.
All right.
Do that.
Would you like to dang it, I fucked that up. Would you like to start some news there, friend?
Yeah, I forgot we hadn't started news.
No, we were just doing updates. Updates.
So fucking tired. I hate life.
Do you?
Yeah, I'm so fucking tired. I got like 6 hours of sleep, so like I shouldn't be too terribly tired.
But you are.
Yeah.
Anyway, I unfortunately don't have the buttons for these numbers because we're going to do some extra ones, so you get my shitty unedited.
Here, I got it.
15.
Beautiful. Thank you, sir. Poo found on every McDonald's touchscreen tested.
This is submitted by Surf Perch to Our World News.
And should
Color me not surprised.
it shouldn't surprise anybody. Like, humans are disgusting. Like, people don't wash their hands. Like, I want to know how many dollar bills have poo on them.
Or cocaine.
Well, isn't that specifically 20s and or hundreds? One of those two?
I mean, are you saying that you don't accidentally spill your cocaine all over your $1 bills every now and then?
I mean, maybe if it's cocaine off of a hooker that has ones on them.
I mean, it's become almost a weekly occurrence for me. I got to really figure out how to get my ones away from my cocaine.
How's that for your financial situation, buddy?
Well, I'll tell you what. It leaves whoever I hand my money to feeling very high and mighty.
It's a pun.
Welcome back, sir. It's good.
Thank you.
It's good to see you.
Still dead tired. I want to go back to sleep.
Not too tired to do that garbage, though. God. So yeah, this is specifically in the EU, or the UK, one of those two. Not that it matters because people are gross. So they went around and they did some tests on all the touchscreens, basically swabbed them. We're like, what's on here? Oh my God, it's disgusting. Like, yeah, duh. Like, I guarantee you every single one of those self-checkout stands that you go to in Walmart, Fred Meyer, Costco, anywhere are also just as freaking disgusting. Like, humans are disgusting. But the thing that you also need to know is that it's important that you come in contact with all that disgusting because that's what makes your immune system better so that you don't get sick from everything.
That's right. In order to not get sick from eating poop, you have to eat poop.
And like there is one that had some staphylococcus on it, and I'm like, ooh, staph infections are bad and super contagious. So like that one, I understand that one. That one's a little bit more of a concern. But the fact that there was traces of fecal matter on the touchscreen, like, duh.
What they should really do is like offer tiny little touchscreen cleansing bottles right next to it, so you can like wash it between each touching.
So what if instead, like, the problem with this is that it would start to degrade the materials, but what if there was like just like do you remember the like little drawing boards that you got as a kid that had a little slider on it that would erase it?
Yeah.
What if there was like a little slider that had like just like it was like a squeegee with sanitizer on it that you just pull down and squeegee the screen and put it back up?
I mean, that still degrades the material, but
yeah. I mean, they did develop material now for hospitals that won't be eroded by cleaning solutions, so...
Oh, good. We'll just put those bitches in a fucking McDonald's.
Yeah.
Just so people don't have to touch poop.
Or people can just get over themselves and realize that while it's gross, it's technically good for you.
They could wash their fucking hands.
That'd be a nice thought, wouldn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
I think you're a little too optimistic there, though, Nathan.
All right, so how about this? We put up signs next to every bathroom that says you have to wash your hands, and if you don't, we beat you. Within an inch of your life, a la like training Saiyans.
I'm gonna say instead, just post an amateur professional wrestler at each bathroom, and if you don't wash your hands, they get to practice one of their.
Trouble you with their fucking.
No, they just get to practice one of their moves on you, and since they're amateurs, you know, I'm sure it'll go perfectly fine.
I'm gonna get one of them to do the Blue Thunder Bomb.
Do it.
That shit's hard.
All right, Nathan, give me that next number.
Okay.
13.
Perfect. Beautiful. Massive cow named Knickers has been deemed too large to eat.
This This was submitted by Mioka2368 to Are Not the Onion.
Seriously, you guys should open
Oh, my knickers are too big.
This cow is amazing. Like,
Is it that fucking Angus monstrosity?
this big ass Angus cow that's like 12 feet tall. Yes, it is that one. I will work on actually trying to get a picture of it up on the screen for people, but
From Australia.
Smart selection. Yeah, this will work.
It's not Angus. It's a Holstein Friesian steer.
There we go. Did it work? Yeah, there we go. Look at this
It's a bovine behemoth.
big old cow. Yep, he has been.
You can. All right. So see, look at it. All right. So look, in that picture, the big old cow. The big old cow is the boss of the dungeon, and all the tiny cows are what it spawns.
Is this like a Diablo level?
No, you have just been sitting in a corner, getting your items and preparations ready, not paying attention to him summoning more and more cows.
Man, that seems problematic.
Yeah, you really shouldn't have taken a step into the boss room before going through your equipment.
Well, got to learn that lesson the hard way.
Yeah.
So Knickers has actually been deemed that he's too large to
Whoa,
go.
you can't just say that word.
Too large to go through the actual processing plant, so he has been spared.
Wow, that's fucking beautiful. They can't process him because he's too big.
Yep.
Man, that's beautiful. That's the American dream right there.
I mean, they found their solution, Nathan. If the cows just grow so large that we can't put them into a blender.
Yeah, fuck slaughterhouses. I'm too big for that shit.
Flexing on you, boy.
Hey, I'm not fat. I'm just big boned.
He's not fat. He's just big.
It needs to be blue. And it needs to be an ox.
Is that like a Paul Bunyan reference?
Yes, that is a Paul Bunyan's reference.
Okay. You want to give me the next number, sir?
13.
Nice. House Democrats unveil their first bill in the majority, a sweeping anti-corruption proposal.
This is submitted by Scrotum Pot Pie to our politics.
Wow, god damn it, people.
I approve. That's a good name.
Scrotum Pot Pie. Mmm.
No, thank you.
The fuck, people.
I'm playing Curse of Strahd, and I was playing last night, and they get to this portion where they're talking to a hag named Morgantha. She's offering them dream pies, which are little mincemeat pies.
Okay.
That she's made with children.
Okay.
Not like cooking it with children, like cooking it out of children.
Okay.
Flowers ground from their bones and whatnot. And one of the players is like, all right, I purchased a pie for a gold piece to eat. And his friend knocks it out of his hand. He's like, what the fuck, dude? I'm just trying to eat this pie. And he's like, no, you shouldn't be eating that kind of shit. And he's like, I don't even know what it is. And he goes and he buys another pie. And he gets that slapped out of his hand. He's like, what the fuck, dude? You should knock that shit off. I'm trying to eat these pies. And he's like, yeah, whatever. Don't fucking eat those pies. So he buys another pie. And he makes sure that he eats this one away from the guy. So he eats it, and dream pies put you in like a dreamlike state where you're in a happy place. And so he crit failed his constitution check and became addicted to dream pies, which are made out of children.
That's incredible.
He's addicted to eating children pies.
Well then. Anyway, onto this anti-corruption proposal.
Oh yeah, this is actual news. Whatever.
yeah, right. So the parameters inside is that they want to change first how campaign finance works. They're trying to find ways to counteract the amount of money that is influencing Anchorage elections in one way or another. The first thing is a 6-to-1 payout ratio to candidates receiving small donations. So what this means is that if you are a candidate running for president and Jim Bob gives you $100, the federal government will then also give you $600.
Keep your government out of my goddamn state business.
So the idea is that instead of you receiving millions of dollars from BP
Millions of dollars. Millions of dollars.
or AT&T, you'll get a lot more money if you raise small donations and then receive payouts from the government. They also want to make it where super PACs and dark money political organizations have to disclose all of their donors. The Honest Ads Act, which would require places like Facebook and Twitter to disclose who the original payment of the money, like where the source of the political ad was from, and share how much was spent. They want to make it where the president has to disclose their tax returns. Members of
understandably so.
Yeah, members of Congress cannot use taxpayer money to settle sexual harassment cases or buy first-class plane tickets. The Office of Government Ethics would have the power to have oversight and enforcement on lobbying registrations. There would be a ethical code for the United States Supreme Court, ensuring that all branches of government are impacted. Voting rights. Everyone would automatically be registered to vote, and it would instead be an opt-out system rather than an opt-in system to be able to vote.
That's what's up. Right there.
The Voting Rights Act would be restored, which would end partisan gerrymandering in federal elections and prohibiting any level of purging of voter rolls. So you hear about them, how they deleted 100,000 voters in Georgia or whatever. They wouldn't be able to do that anymore, as well as a increase through the Director of National Intelligence to do regular checks on foreign threats to help improve election security.
That's pretty amazing.
That said, it's not going to go anywhere. It's going to soar right through the House, hit a brick wall at the Republican Senate, and will never be signed by the president.
Yeah, of course. It's going to crash and burn.
That said, it's not meant to succeed.
I'm surprised they'd get so many Democrats to fucking sign it, honestly.
Well,
you know, there's corruption on more than just both sides.
It's true, but I think the Democrats are trying to look ahead. They know it will fail. So even the ones that might not normally be in support of it are going to pass it anyway as a good gesture, as a measure of good faith of like, look, I'm one of the ones that's trying. Vote for me in 2020. And that's really what this is this is going to be more of a setup so that they have a good base of this is why you shouldn't.
It's like those Democrats in the House that signed that letter saying that they dislike Nancy Pelosi. It's also that they can get reelected later.
Yeah, that's all it is.
People really dislike Nancy Pelosi.
And unfortunately now she's the Speaker of the House.
Yeah. Which really speaks fucking
I don't know.
to the
Is she
House,
the Speaker
you know what I mean?
Or is she the House Majority Leader? I don't remember.
No, she's the Majority Leader, I think.
Yeah, I think that's correct. Anyway, so yeah. It's not going to go anywhere. It's a good gesture, but all it is to go, look, these people didn't vote to be more honest in their elections when the elections come up in 2020. That's all it's going to be.
Yeah, I wish this would pass though.
I mean, yeah, it'd be nice.
Like it's a bill that we want, but unfortunately, there's just too much corruption for it to pass. Go figure, right? Trying to pass an anti-corruption bill in one of the most corrupted places.
Not gonna happen. Give me that next number, Nathan.
What number are we on?
12.
12.
New research finds there is no right thing to say when you want to be supportive.
Submitted by via to our science. What are you talking about? The right thing to say is, that sucks.
Nut up, bro.
That's not the appropriate thing to say.
So they've conducted actual research into it, and if someone is suffering, whether it's because of like a breakup or someone died or they just got really terrible news because of cancer,
they have to be awake.
There is no right thing to say. In fact, trying to find something to say can often be more damaging than saying nothing at all. More realistically, what they have found is that the best thing to do in a situation where someone is overcome with some level of grief, sorrow, suffering, etc., is to just be there in whatever capacity they need you to be there. You don't need to go into like a talk about how like, oh, I'm sorry your brother died, but he was a great person. He lived a wonderful life. It's like, yeah, shush.
It was just his time. He was picked. God was wanting him then and
God.
there. God looked down and said, that one's mine. Let's bring him home.
What is he, Michael Jackson looking at a crowd of kids?
He was acquitted of this charge
You liked it and you know it.
as much as he liked his children.
Anyway, so yeah.
What did I say? He acquitted of those charges.
But on
something not a pedophile.
something overdose something.
Whatever.
Yeah. So basically, stop trying to say something to make them feel better because you're not going to. There's nothing that you can say that will make them feel better. It's not going to happen. So really what you can say is like, I'm really sorry for your loss. I'm here for you. Let me know if you need anything. Like that's really the best that you can do is be there to support them because there are not words that will actually improve the situation. Now, that said, I mean, depending on the person, you might be able to just, if you just happen to be somebody that has, a substantial amount of wealth and you're like, would a check for $100,000 make you feel better? Like, maybe try that one.
So what you do is instead you go, shut the fuck up, and you hand them a goddamn tequila shot.
And shut up and drink this.
You don't just say drink. You just don't say drink this. That's implied. You just hand it to them. Shut the fuck up. You have to have it forcefully. You have to say fuck in the perfect way. Fuck.
We're gonna blaze right through these 5 stages of grief. You're in denial right now. Drink this, and we'll push right on through to depression. Okay.
More like the 5 shots of grief. Know what I'm saying?
Yeah, boy. Denial, anger, bargaining, depression, all the way to acceptance. When you accept that you're trashed.
That's how I deal with my life. A shot anytime for every stage of depression or whatever.
You just do 5 shots like twice a day?
Yes.
Oh God.
I'm pretty fucked up right now.
Yeah, I imagine.
Wake up.
Yeah.
Drink.
You say that you're sweating in your sleep now because of the heating pad. Are you just like sweating scotch? Just distilling it off of your own skin?
No, all right. So my roommate, after the earthquake, my roommate had to go to work, and he works at a Brown Jug liquor store.
Yeah.
And he had to clean up the mess on the inside, and you can still smell the alcohol in his pants from down the hall.
Yeah.
Like, it is fucking crazy how much, like, that place smelled. I thought whoever was standing in there was going to die.
Because of all the glass falling?
No, because of all the fucking...
The alcohol fumes?
Yeah, exactly.
There is no oxygen left, just alcohol, pure methane.
Exactly. It's not healthy for a person. But, I've seen people live that way, so...
I wonder how long it would take you to get drunk off of, like, alcohol-infused air.
I don't know, but I was like, give me a second. I'm going to grab my straw and I'll be over.
Damn, bro. I would not eat anything off of the Brown Jug floor.
Yeah... I'm not eating anything off the floor, though. I'm drinking booze off of it.
Either way,
it's a little bit of a difference.
Yeah, I don't care. You're gonna friggin' wake up the next morning with malaria and Ebola.
That's fine. I'll drink booze out of a lot of gross places. Find me a goddamn hairy belly button, I'll drink booze out of it.
I got one right here for you, buddy.
All right, so if you guys want to see this, go to a Patreon. I'll do a Jello shot out of his belly button.
That's not something anyone wants to see. But
that's not true. Zach would probably want to see it.
God damn it. Anyway, you want to give me that number 11, friend?
Yeah.
I got buttons after this.
11.
Judge rules Mississippi County is liable for jailing woman 96 days without seeing a judge.
This is submitted by Hot Satin to our news.
This has apparently been a widespread problem in Mississippi for one related charge or another, you would be arrested. And they would put you in jail so that they can wait for your arraignment and so you can post bail and all that shit. But they would never do that. They'd stick you in jail and just never move forward with anything. This woman was in jail for 96 days for what initially was a driving incident for traffic charges. She ended up being held after being served with a drug indictment. But she did not get to see a judge for a bail, a hearing, nothing for 96 days.
Is it because they're just booked?
No, it's just because they didn't do any of the paperwork that they needed to do.
Oh.
They just left
Book
her
her.
in there and forgot about her.
We'll book her and not do any paperwork. Who cares about paperwork?
Whatever. We did our job, met our quota. Bye.
How do you not do paperwork on that? Like those 96 days, there has to be paperwork for like people eating, for people staying.
Well, and the worst part is that because she hasn't had an arraignment yet to actually like see a judge, she didn't have a lawyer yet. She hadn't had a chance to really talk to anybody. She couldn't post bail. She just got to sit there waiting for whenever it was going to be the time for her to get to actually go like do those things.
Indefinitely.
Forever.
I wouldn't be surprised if the judge was just like, no, you've already done your time. Just leave.
All right, we suck. Sorry, get out of here.
Yo, if I was her, there'd be a goddamn class action lawsuit in place.
Well, I doubt it'd be class action, but
No, I'm sure there's multiple instances of this happening across.
depending on how big the number is, it might just be better for them to each to sue separately.
That's true. That's true.
10,
CDC says life expectancy down as more Americans die younger due to suicide and drug overdose.
This is submitted by Chianci to our news.
We be killing ourselves, yo.
Doesn't surprise me.
No, it doesn't.
Not whatsoever. Like it's definitely you can like see it. People dying from Xanax overdoses or fentanyl. Funny story. The drug sellers on the dark web are no longer peddling fentanyl.
No.
There's like a cross ban on selling fentanyl on the dark web.
They have banned it of their own volition.
Because it's fucked up.
We'll sell you cocaine all day long, but fentanyl, no.
No, fentanyl kills whoever you fucking sell it to because they don't know how to fucking take it. So, you know, that's like reducing your profit margins.
In 2017, there were just over 2.8 million deaths in the United States. That's about 70,000 more than there were in 2016. And the reason for the increase is predominantly due to suicide and drug overdoses.
It's because Lost is over.
Now, life expectancy was on the rise, and in general, if you aren't killing yourself, there is a better chance that you will live substantially longer. That said, if you are subject to mental illness or drug addiction, your chances are substantially lower.
Would you notice that, like, both of those are on the rise?
Because people are like it's shitty ass times right now.
Dude, the last South Park episode was about anxiety. I fucking loved it. Cartman figured out that he had anxiety, so because he wants to just sit there and play on his phone all day.
Yeah.
So he gets this thing called a Buddha box, which is just a box you put over your head so you can ignore people and play on your phone.
Okay.
And he's walking with it, and people are like, "Watch out, kid! Watch where you're fucking walking!" And they're pissed off at him because he's not paying attention. And he takes off the Buddha box, and he's like, "Guys, I'm having a fucking anxiety attack right now!" And he's like freaking out at everyone because he just wants to fucking sit there and walk peacefully and play on his phone. And then the Buddha boxes get more and more popular, and Kyle is pissed off at him because he's not playing with them. Instead, he's just on his phone. So he knocks the box off of his head and he yells at him about how everyone has anxiety. And then Cartman goes and becomes all like Buddha-like so that he can start his own religion to ease everyone's anxiety.
With a phone?
I guess that they ended that bit with him talking to the mayor.
Oh, okay.
So he hasn't actually started the religion yet, but he's practicing.
What gives you anxiety, Nathan?
Bank account numbers.
Yeah, money.
Yeah. The thought of having to be awake.
Just ever.
Yeah. It's the worst. I have this like really huge urge to not be awake at almost all times. Considering getting tested for narcolepsy.
Yeah.
Though I don't randomly fall asleep, kind of.
You're going to go to the doctor and they're going to diagnose you with depression.
Yeah, but that's something that I already knew, so like it's not surprising.
No. Well.
Tell me something about myself that's kind of fucked up that I don't know. Exactly. I already know I'm pretty fucked up.
Damn, bro.
9,
Outdoor clothing company Patagonia Incorporated has committed the $10 million it saved from federal tax cuts championed by President Donald Trump to nonprofit groups who work on conservation and climate issues.
This is submitted by God Wills It to our uplifting news.
God wills it.
Deus Vult.
Yeah, so they didn't pass on the tax cuts to their workers. They did. No, but they did pass on the money they saved from the tax cuts at least to something beneficial besides their shareholders, which that is conservation and climate issue groups, because they do believe that those are important.
Nonsense. We don't need them. Get
No?
rid of them.
Climate change is a hoax manufactured by the Chinese?
Absolutely. I mean, why would it not be?
Oh, I mean...
It's a thing that the Chinese are doing right now. They're testing it. It's like sound-based weapons. It's weather controlling based weapons. It's actually what caused our earthquake up here.
Cloud seeding?
Yeah. So the Chinese are like, all right, we're gonna try a new earthquake gun where they point it at the ground in a specific spot and they shoot it. So it's actually on one of their lasers. And because Donald Trump is kind of a pissant, Chinese President Xi Jinping, whatever, fucking Pooh Bear, he was really pissed off at Trump. So he was like, no, I'm gonna shoot my goddamn earthquake gun at a place that normally has earthquakes. So he shot the earthquake gun at Big Lake, which is just north of Anchorage, and it really fucked with us. Like it caused a pretty big earthquake, and people don't realize that it's actually Donald Trump's fault.
Damn. Blame the president.
Yeah.
8.
Former Trump lawyer and fixer Michael Cohen pleads guilty and makes a deal with Mueller.
This was submitted by OMS6 to our news.
We're going to go through a few of these. A key Mueller witness, quote, "I lied and I'm ready to die in jail."
Is submitted by Wandering Socrates to all our politics.
Mueller
to our politics.
Mueller, Manafort has lied to investors since plea deal.
Is submitted by Singular Fate to our politics.
So all of these people that are nice and close. Incidentally, that key Mueller witness is Jeremy Corsi or Jerome Corsi. I forget. Anyway, all of people who have been investigated by special counsel to the FBI, Robert Mueller, and all of which had made statements to Congress back in 2017, all of which have now admitted on one level to another or been discovered that they lied to Congress and are therefore liable to perjury. And yeah, so, but the big one is Michael Cohen, because like Paul Manafort, it's a lot of other stuff. Jeremy Corsi, that's another one over there. But Michael Cohen was the guy that was really close to Trump. He was his personal lawyer. He's the guy that conducted a deal through Moscow. He's the guy that conducted the payoff to Stormy Daniels, the porn star. He was the dude that Donald Trump had to fix problems. And now he is not interested in spending a lifetime in jail, so instead he is working with the special counsel on anything that they need.
Anything and everything.
Pretty much. Part of his plea deal is a maximum of 5 years in prison with an additional 3 years of strict oversight afterwards.
That is some bullshit.
Which, I mean, realistically, depending on how well this goes, he might not see much prison time at all, if any. But the thing is that, oh man, I love seeing the president backpedal after this crap.
Oh, of course. He does it all the time, as quickly as he could. He's constantly in a backpedaling motion.
Like,
even if he did do it, it's not illegal.
After this news broke, the president of the United States, Donald Trump, comes out to say that his ex-lawyer, Michael Cohen, is a weak person who is lying to get a reduced sentence. And he basically continued to say that there was no legal basis for the entirety of this investigation, that it was a disgusting witch hunt, and that it needs to be canceled because we've wasted $40 million on an investigation. One real quick thing, Mr. President. How much money did you waste sending troops to the Mexico border to tear gas children?
How much money did you waste just chilling at Mar-a-Lago?
So, yeah. That said, it's not a waste, because all of these people, even outside of the blows that they are dealing to you, also did some other shitty things. Most of them, one, they lied under oath to Congress, so that's a problem right there. But even beyond that, like millions of dollars in tax fraud, like,
yeah, they should have been going down anyways.
like, can you prove that you're not also a problem when it comes to tax fraud? Because I don't think you can.
No, like, it's almost mandatory for most rich people to commit tax fraud.
It's how they stay rich, right?
Definitely.
Whatever. So yeah, I'm glad that so many of these people have begun caving, because it does mean we will start to see answers and results.
Yeah, no, this is finally where Mueller stuff is really popping up. We're gonna see some fun indictments here soon.
I mean, we've already seen a ton, so we'll see what happens next.
But these are gonna be actual fun indictments, like real fucking indictments.
7,
Don Trump Jr. and shit.
Netherlands has proof Russia developed prohibited cruise missile violating INF treaty.
This is submitted by V205 to Our World News.
So after, God dang it, stupid fucking, thank you, get out of here. So after the Intermediate Range Nuclear Forces Treaty, which was put in place after the Cold War, which basically says none of us will build nuclear missiles that can reach anywhere on the planet, because that's actually really easy for everyone, well, not for everyone, for the major countries to build rockets that can just reach around the world. And when you have nuclear missiles that can reach around the world, you are able to just essentially squeeze the world's balls and say, I have missiles, do what I want. Well, after the Cold War, everyone said we won't build those anymore, and that happened in 1987, and was signed between the United States and Russia to put an end to the Cold War. And it forbids the development of missiles that have a range of more than 500 kilometers. So it's still very substantial range, and that's why but because of that limitation, you'll see them putting missile bases on, right on the edge of borders and things like that, so they can reach farther still.
Yeah.
That said, apparently the Dutch government has information that Russia has been developing cruise missiles that exceed that 500-kilometer range.
Ooh, yeah. It's not good. You can feel it in your nether regions.
Nathan, I have a question. At what point does the world just tell Russia to sit the fuck down?
Okay, so here's our problem.
Like part of me, I feel like Russia is just keep on pushing buttons and trying to push the envelope.
Here's our problem, is that we've tried to tell Russia to sit the fuck down politely in our political way, and Russia just doesn't give a fuck. Russia doesn't give any fucks, because they're goddamn Russia. They're like one of the biggest countries in the world, and they can force their people to make stupid shit like this. So why should they give a fuck? The only way for them to knock this shit off is to dissolve the state of Russia.
Is there the potential to, instead of dissolving them, just get, like, I realize it'll never happen internally, but are we able to replace their leadership on a world scale? Is that...
You would have to replace not only Putin, but the next, like, 40 fucking oligarchs that are in place.
So we need to do what America does best and just shove American ideals all over them.
No. We need to do what the French did best and line them up in a nice, neat line right next to a guillotine and start running them through.
God damn, Nathan. Jesus Christ. And that doesn't work, though, because they do that to themselves.
Right, but it does work if it's everyone.
Every single person in Russia.
Exactly. Just run them through the guillotine. I'm sorry, babushka. Throw yourself in there.
I promise it'll hurt less if you throw yourself.
Just listen to what I have to say.
6,
Sinclair forces local TV stations to air segment defending tear gassing migrants.
That was submitted by Fox Hack to our news.
So if you guys remember, we talked about Sinclair Media a few times in the past. One was talking with them merging with fucking, I don't remember what the other name of the agency was, which would have given them access to like something like 47% of American homes.
Yeah, I forget which place, but yeah, I know what you're talking about.
And that merger ended up being shut down. The other thing, though, that we talked about was the must-air TV segment that their anchors read, and they had to read specifically a very specific set of words
Again.
Well,
This happened once before.
This is slightly different. The first time everyone was reading it, and it was basically like, this is going to undermine our democracy. Vote for Donald Trump. This time, instead of making people read it, they just provided them a 2-minute video to air on their channels that basically said that these aliens were trying to rush the American border and that we were under invasion. I am not being sarcastic when I say that.
So let's set this straight. All right, let's set all of this straight really quick. A lot of people are not going to like this, but it's going to happen. The aliens were some of them were trying to get into the country illegally by trying to climb over the fence and pull it down. But you have to realize that these people are extremely frustrated having feeling that this is what they had to do to get into America because their port of entry, which is supposed to be open, has been denied. Not only that, but normal laws have been theoretically changed with a fucking presidential order saying, hey, you're not allowed to do this anymore. So there have been so many wrenches thrown into their path of coming into this nation legally that they felt that the only way to do it is by going over the edge.
Well, and the other thing is, like, you know, one of the things...
realistically, they were pushed to do this. And now everyone's like, they're doing it. We fucking told you.
Well, and one of the things that the president has talked about, like, Obama did it too. Why do you all hate me? And it's like...
He never signed an executive order for it. It just kind of slipped in.
Well, there was a couple things there. Like, one, yes, Obama did have immigration policies, but his didn't involve persecuting people that tried to enter the country. Like, he wasn't jailing people and putting them into concentration camps.
Yeah. Like I was saying, though, it's like a drunken one-night stand. You just kind of accidentally slip it in.
One of the other things that I would like to bring up that I really enjoyed, who I'm sure is going to be an absolute political juggernaut, assuming that she doesn't get assassinated, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, who is the newly elected representative from New York.
Live from New York, we have Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
She is an outspoken individual who I am excited to see where she goes and what she does. But one of the things that she commented about is like, how about instead of sending 5,000 troops to the border to gas migrants, why didn't we instead send 5,000 caseworkers to help them get processed? Which is a really good point, just because there's so many other approaches that you can take beyond a militaristic approach.
Yeah, there's a lot more peaceful things we could have done. But that's not what we dump most of our money into, Michael. We have to get our use out of it.
Yeah, about that.
If we don't send our troops, then our troops are just sitting there, bored and useless.
Sure.
They want to be there at the border.
No, they don't.
Absolutely do.
The Trump Organization planned to give Vladimir Putin the $50 million penthouse in Trump Tower, Moscow.
This was submitted by Caravan to Our Politics.
So, part of that whole plea deal with Michael Cohen, initially it was stated that the discussions between the Trump Organization and Moscow ended in January of 2016. That is not true. In fact, it has been discovered now that there was discussions between the Trump Organization and Moscow as late as July of 2016, which would be, you know, real close to the election. Part of it was literally a gift of the $50 million penthouse of the Trump Tower that would be built in Moscow to the Russian President Vladimir Putin.
I'll take super sketchy things for 400.
I'll take, I didn't do it. There's no collusion. There's no deals, nothing.
And even if I did do it, collusion's not illegal.
Mm-hmm.
For 2,000.
To the point that there's even screenshotted text messages that Michael Cohen shared with, I can't actually read this name. My vision isn't clear enough right now. Felix Sater, in regards to discussing of being able to...
No, it's Felix Kjellberg.
Sure.
And he's PewDiePie.
Oh, okay. In regards to the further discussion of this deal. It's going, Nathan. It's happening. They're moving forward.
I'm telling you, this here is a fucking bombshell, and it's going to be very key for this whole individual one type kind of thing going on, you know.
So I have a question for you.
This here is going to be marked as the turning point
of
just this whole thing. This is where everything starts going downhill for him.
Yeah, you think this is the top of the roller coaster?
Maybe not the climax, but this is going to be the turning point. Maybe the roller coaster is going to go sideways for a little bit, and it goes along like an even plane. But this is as high as it's going to get, I think.
All right. Guess we'll just wait and see.
3.
Nope.
4.
Man killed by cops during Alabama mall shooting had a permit. Actual shooter remains at large.
This is submitted by Capuche50 to our news.
America, we suck. God damn.
Tell me something I don't know.
Friggin', so there was a shooting that broke out in a shopping mall in Alabama. There was a young black man whose name is Emantic E.J. Bradford Jr., who is 21 years old, that had a weapon that he was legally allowed to have, who was trying to assist in the situation. Police showed up, saw a black guy with a handgun, and just immediately shot him. No questions asked, nothing. Just immediately shot him.
Yeah, that's pretty sketch right in and of itself.
Like, he didn't have the gun pointed at anybody. He was doing nothing aggressive. He was just trying to assess the situation and do what he could in the situation as what we normally would consider the good guy with the gun. The good guy died.
So at what point? No, I don't know.
Because guess what? The good guy with a gun was black. And so the good guy with a gun got shot and killed. And because they thought they got the bad guy, the actual bad guy with the gun got away.
I watched the Trevor Noah video that was very interesting. And it was how it pointed out that if you're a mass shooter and you're white, you tend to get talked down. You know, like the Aurora shooting. There's like a couple other places that he was talking about, but essentially that they attempt to talk you down so they can take you in. But if you're a black shooter, you just get shot.
Yeah.
This guy wasn't even a shooter.
He was a dude that was there with a gun.
Mm-hmm.
It's bullshit. I'm really sick and tired of it.
All because he was a black dude.
3.
Russia fires on and seizes Ukraine ships.
This was submitted by ZXCV 1992 to Our World News.
Speaking of, like, what the fuck? When someone needs to backhand Russia and soon. So Russia's
just trying to start another war.
Yeah, right. It's called the Kerch Strait. There is a bridge that goes between Russia and Crimea at the city of Kerch. This big, massive bridge, and it's the only way to get from the Sea of Azov, which Ukraine touches, to the Black Sea. Now, after a conflict, it was decided that a lot of the waters, and the waters right there at the Kerch Strait, are shared waters between Ukraine, Crimea, and Russia. Russia has been forcing Ukraine ships to undergo inspection under the idea of that they're trying to prevent Ukraine radicals from damaging the bridge. And then recently they parked an oil tanker that took the entire space underneath the bridge. And then when the Ukraine ships tried to circumvent it on any level, they're like, you have exited shared waters, are now in Russia waters, and fired on them and overtook the ships.
Yeah, that's some bullshit.
You guys are asshole dick bags. And like they're wanting to invade Ukraine. They've already proven that they have weapons, machines, tanks, rockets lined up at the Ukraine border because they think that it's still fucking 1947 where they can just roll in there and take what they want.
Well, this also proves that they're trying to destroy them economically because that is a huge point of entry and exit.
Mm-hmm.
And they can't get, import, export out now because of it. Unless it's by land.
Like, I understand that America is like one of the biggest twat bags when it comes to world politics and often tries to function like Big Brother, and we have our fucking world police all over the goddamn place. But
we're not gonna take a step here because Russia's there.
Well, it's because of shit like this that we tried to fill that role. Because of shit like this. Now, you're right. We're not going to do anything. Yeah, we're not going to do anything as long as we have the fuckwad of a president that we have, who, despite the entire world condemning Saudi Arabia for literally outright murdering a journalist, and we have video evidence of it, was like, no, I believe them. They seem like decent people. Fuck you.
Well, all right. So let's be honest here. All right. When Obama was president, Crimea was taken, and not very much was done. Some sanctions were put into place, So maybe if there was a stronger pushback then.
We need to figure out a better solution to world politics than just telling people that they done messed up.
Yeah, saying, hey, we're going to sanction you is not going to help.
You need to pay us money, and I want you to know that the world...
so
like you put them in the corner with a dunce cap and put a tax on them?
Let me correct myself, right? So that is a good thing, right? Against smaller countries who don't have the economy to be able to pay that shit back. But against, like, a place like Russia, or against a place like Great Britain, or
China.
Against a place that has money, it is exactly how it is here, where it's punishable by fine. Like, it doesn't matter.
It's legal for rich countries?
Yeah. They just don't care. And
Like,
even if you're, like, feigning rich, if you can feign rich enough, you're fine. I.e. North Korea.
So bullshit.
2.
I don't know.
Steven Hillenburg, creator of SpongeBob SquarePants, has passed away.
This is submitted by Oh Shit to our Bikini Bottom Twitter.
Oh shit! Oh, I got it.
Oh shit! Oh shit!
So Nathan, do you know why?
ALS.
Oh, okay. Damn
Yeah,
it.
he died from ALS. From what I remember.
Well, that sucks.
Yeah.
Whether you like SpongeBob or not, you cannot deny
He was number one.
What? No, that's Stefan Carl. How dare you?
No, that's Smitty Warbin Jägerman Jensen.
I'm fucking with you, buddy. God.
I even did it in the proper tone.
Regardless of whether you're one of the people that think SpongeBob is the most idiotic, degenerate things on the planet, or if you genuinely enjoy it, or if you're somewhere in between, you cannot deny the massive impact that SpongeBob has had on just kind of animation in general, especially when it comes to the presentation of cartoons, especially in the American ecosystem. SpongeBob's a powerful juggernaut. And
he's got a lot of memes.
And the creator is someone to be recognized.
Yeah.
I mean, hell, I don't seasons like 1 through 3 of SpongeBob, like when it was, like at the beginning of its creative height, was pretty enjoyable because they were a genuine show, and then they just evolved into what ways can we make kids laugh at fart jokes.
It's true. It's true. That's just how 90% of shows are. 90% of shows are the very beginning, it's amazing, and then as it goes on, it slowly peters out as they run out of material.
Or as they invent a formula that makes money.
Mm-hmm.
But there even are still memes that I say, that most people say, probably without immediately realizing that it's a SpongeBob meme. Like, 10 years later. That's SpongeBob. So... Anyway, rest in peace, Mr. Hillenburg. Thank you for SpongeBob, I guess. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Thank you. SpongeBob is a joy.
1.
Former President George H.W. Bush dies at 94.
This is submitted by Quinn to our news.
You know, like, as sad as this is, I'm almost, like, thankful for him because he has been having so many health issues and struggling to, like, even breathe in the last few years. Like,
his policies were also pretty detrimental to people with HIV.
Yeah, but, I mean, that was, you know, that was a long time ago, Nathan.
Yeah, but there could have been, you know, more family members for some of these families if it weren't for that.
That's true.
Well, you know, whatever.
But yeah, Freddie Mercury might still be alive. Anyway, so yeah, the 41st president of the United States, George Herbert Walker Bush, has passed away. He has been having severe health complications for the last few years. He did finally pass away, which I feel is probably better for him at this point.
Yeah. I feel like once you get past a certain age, it's just better to either slowly peter out or just finally burn the final part of your candle, you know?
Well, it's one thing to live to 94, but it's really rough when you're living at 94 and for the last 3 years you've been suffering from severe health complications.
Yeah.
You know, that's the rough part. So now that said,
yeah, once you start really suffering from those kinds of things, it's like, hey, you should really recognize that you don't have much time left.
He did have a letter that was written that was supposed to be presented on his 95th birthday, because his birthday is in like a couple of weeks or something like that. And so I'm going to read what they've provided of this anyway at this point in time. My heart is full on the first day of my 95th year. As many of you know, for years I have said the three most important things in life are faith, family, and friends. My faith has never been stronger. I'm a lucky man to be named for George Bush and to be with... Oh, wait, no, this was this from his... Wait, hang on one second. Oh, and so anyway...
That's from his son, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was from his son. And he died peacefully, as far as we've been informed, and his last words were when he was speaking to his son, which was George W. Bush, who was the 93rd president of the United States. And his last words was, "I love you too, son."
That's lovely.
And I was like, well, that's
actually like a lovely.
Yeah, that'll make you a bit of the sads. That'll give you some feels.
You may be a shitter, but you still had love for your boy. That was good. Poor old Jeb, you know?
Yeah, poor old Jeb. All right, anyway. Fuck no. God damn it, maybe that wasn't the right one to play. Oh, well. Listener submission. The mayor sued for blocking residents on Twitter.
This is submitted by Ot2K6 to our iReadit cast.
So, the mayor of Ottawa, whose name is Jim Watson, is being sued by people because he blocked them on Twitter, and they're suing him on the argument that he is violating their charter rights to speak to their public officials.
It was like the same kind of argument that was made against Donald Trump banning people.
Like
that was told that he can't do that because it's a public official or something like that.
Here's the thing, and like I do understand. I'm a little bit on both sides here. Like, one, yes, but also no, because he did like for instance, Donald Trump has his personal account, and then there's the official POTUS 45 account. Jim Watson has his own personal account, and then he has his official account in his capacity as mayor of Ottawa. He is blocking people on his personal Twitter account, not the public one.
But he is a public figure.
Right, but he's not preventing your access to him in an official capacity.
No, it doesn't matter anymore. Once you become a public figure, you no longer get privacy like that.
I disagree. Like, if you want to have a private Facebook profile, you should be allowed to do so. Like, if you want to have a private Twitter profile, you should be allowed to do so. As long as it's not a big deal to me if you expect public officials to maintain a open channel on social media, as long as they have one. That they
then
are.
You get crazy shit like someone staying up until like 4 a.m. on Ambien making racial slurs.
Well, that's just our president.
Like, you're not supposed to have these people have personalized shit like this. Because these people aren't people anymore. They're figureheads. They're pillars.
I mean, if
They need
someone
to do their fucking job.
if someone ends up saying something on their private Twitter account that is insensitive, sure, hold that against them because it is out there on the internet. But if they don't want to be accosted on their private Twitter profile and instead you want to send that, vitriol to their public one, I don't see an issue with that. It's no different than you should. How is this any different than like protesting outside of someone's official office or going and harassing them at their private home? One of these is okay. One of them is not.
Both of them still kind of legal, isn't it? As long as you get the permits, you can definitely stand outside someone's home and protest. And this actually has been fairly common before.
I think there are restrictions on it, but I do believe you are relatively correct. But I'm still maintaining that comparison.
I don't see a problem with it, because if people can stand in large swaths, across the street from a war criminal's house to protest, you're not going to be super upset about it.
I understand what you're getting at, and it's a matter of, against evil and against just a regular person. So I do understand that. And people could make the same comparison of like people harassing people in a restaurant. But again, I still see that as a public space compared to a private one. Now, if they're hiding in private spaces, I think that's different.
This guy wasn't quite hiding in private, was he? He's kind of...
No,
he's got like a private, not even a private profile. It's just a profile that he banned some people on.
Yeah, he just has his own personal Twitter account because he
that's like strike 6 right there, man.
He also he has his own personal Twitter account and then his public Twitter account. And he had this personal Twitter account before he got elected, and he was like, "You know what? I don't really feel like you blasted me on my personal one. Send it to my real one, to my official one."
So like his private one, is that like on private?
I could not tell you,
because like if not, then well, fuck him. Like, you don't get to have that kind of leeway as a mayor.
Sure. Hey Nathan,
I'm Mr. Meeseeks. Look at me.
What did you care about in the last fucking month?
So I found a YouTube channel because of Reddit. There's like this 12-year-old boy or something. He had a brain tumor in his head and some pretty bad cancer.
Damn.
So he was drawing pictures every day.
Okay.
And then on Thanksgiving, he had a video, and he hasn't had a video since. And I looked at the comments, and his mom said that he had fallen into a coma. So it's really unfortunate. But that's really kind of like what I cared about, was like the kid in his videos, because they're good. His name's The Weavster 18, TheWeevster 18. You guys wanted to watch his videos? They tend to be about like 4 minutes long.
I also would like to bring attention to Nathan's doppelganger that we have discovered in recent times.
The Pay Money Wubsy.
Pay Money Wubby.
Or Wubby, yeah.
Yep.
Wubsy.
He is a very offensive individual, much like Nathan in some.
No, he's much more offensive.
He's a lot more offensive than you. But if you want to see like literally what Nathan would do if he had a YouTube channel outside of probably not using the N-word so goddamn much.
Hey, I've recently stopped using it.
It's not even recently. You stopped like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
But he's
even in private use.
He's happy to still drop that bomb all over the place. But
well, it's not like iDubbbz. iDubbbz drops that motherfucking shit like it was goddamn hot.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, it's an option, to try and generate a level of attention, and for some people it works. Anyway, if you want to see Nathan's doppelganger, like very much his doppelganger, go check out Pay Money Wubby. He's also very, very funny, much like Nathan.
You should watch his like TikTok videos, or what it was called before TikTok.
His Musical.ly video and his ASMR video are both very eye-opening and concerning, because
it's like, what the fuck? Why are these people doing this? Yeah, and now it's not Musical.ly. Musical.ly is dead. Apparently.
Musical.ly was just eaten by TikTok.
Yeah, now it's TikTok. TikTok's still pretty bad.
And but even beyond that, his mail opening videos are fucking hilarious. Just as a note.
Just as a side note, though, he does this thing where he tries to force a burp or force a throw up often, and it's kind of gross.
Yeah, if you're someone that's grossed out by the sound of people making gross sounds, like, you know, like essentially people faking like a gag sound because of something being gross, just be aware of that.
Yeah, it's fucking gross.
So go check out the kid who is now unfortunately in a coma. Go check out Pay Money Wubby. Anything else that you cared about, sir? How was your birthday and Thanksgiving?
I spent it with my parents. It was pretty good. Oh, I got a game that everyone should get because it's super fun.
What's that?
It's called Deep Rock Galactic.
I've seen you playing the hell out of that.
Game's a lot of fun. So you queue up as one of 4 classes. You got the Scout, which is pretty garbage. You get the Driller, which is pretty garbage. You get the Engineer, which is top tier, and you got the Gunner, which is top tier. And you are a dwarf, and you're on a planet, and your goal is to go down into the layers of the planet so that you can mine materials or kill specific targets and leave. The specific targets are aliens called glyphids, and they're all like bug aliens, and there's different kinds of glyphids. And the gameplay itself is like it's like Red Faction mixed with Left 4 Dead. It's got the same kind of Left 4 Dead mechanics of like swarms and picking your friends up and running, but it's got like almost Red Faction tactics where you have to like drill and break through walls and stuff like that. It's kind of like Minecraft too, but you don't build stuff.
Cool.
It's a lot of fun, and it just got this big update where it pushed in 8 new guns, 2 for each class.
Right on.
So,
quick update on my status of my face. I'm not wearing sunglasses today because thankfully my light sensitivity is getting lower, so that's nice. I am still, unfortunately, not super great at reading text because until my eyes have completely healed, there's going to be a small level of blur on everything, which makes reading text fucking hard, especially if it's on a screen. Like, if it's a printed text, it's not as bad, but because of the way the pixels work on a screen, man, reading on a screen is difficult, which makes my job delightful. Let me tell you about it.
Way to suck.
Yeah, right? I'm the fucking worst.
Adapt quicker.
I'm sorry that eyeballs heal slow as dirt.
Are you?
No, I don't know. It's not something I control.
Just take them out.
Like, I go to... No, God, no. I go to the optometrist again next week for a 1-month follow-up to see how my eyes are doing. But they aren't supposed to actually be healed for a total of 3 months after the surgery. So, yay.
Yay.
But I'm functional again, and I'm not sleepy all the goddamn time, and my eyes don't
That makes
hurt.
one of us.
You know, yeah. Go see a doctor.
I had pizza last night. Guess how many slices I ate? One, because I was too fucking tired and I was falling asleep in the pie.
Okay, I was like, there was 2 options on that, 1 or 7. Like,
yeah,
like that was the only 2 things that. Otherwise, it would have been the normal like 3.
Oh shit! I forgot.
What?
I had a box of Raisinets.
Oh damn!
Chocolate that I can eat.
Congratulations, sir.
Even though I shouldn't, because it's made with skim milk, and skim milk's kind of bad for me.
Dude, I met a person recently who is dangerously allergic to nickel.
Like
the
metal nickel?
The element, yeah.
That's really unfortunate. I knew a person who was pretty allergic to the sun.
Do you know how many things nickel is in?
A lot of things.
Literally goddamn near fucking everything.
Yeah, it's a really cheap material.
Like, it's in most greens. It's in every single type of bean. It's in freaking everything.
Yeah. Oh, it's like, I don't know, palm oil?
Well, that's in everything because we put it in everything, not because it naturally develops in everything.
No, it does naturally develop in all those things.
Oh, does it?
Coconuts grow naturally.
Yeah, well, damn. Well, sucks to be you as well, sir.
Yeah.
I mean, at least you just get itchy and don't go into anaphylactic shock.
No, I just get fairly sick too.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll get a really bad headache if it's really bad.
Still better than anaphylactic shock.
Yeah.
Nathan's like, you say that, but to me that sounds
That's gonna be my next D&D character. I'm gonna be an assassin named Anaphylactic.
And are you gonna have like a shock dart or something?
Yeah, and I'll be trained in medicine, and I'll also be a lich with a phylactery.
Do it.
Anaphylactery.
Damn it, Nathan. Damn it. Fuck. God, that's awful. It just keeps getting worse the more I think about it.
That's all right. I recently did a one shot, and I wrote this one shot, and the whole one shot was there's a dwarven forge temple, and their giant anvil had been stolen by a bunch of kobolds. The person who ran the forge temple was a dwarf named Unveil Hammerhand.
That's pretty terrible as well.
Thank you.
All right. Other than that, what else I care about? Super Smash Bros. Ultimate comes out this week.
Yeah.
I don't know. Let's get out of here.
Okay.
Please remember, everyone, you can help support this show by going to patreon.com/dailyinternet, picking up some merchandise in the links below, following and sharing our show on social media, as well as informing us what you want to talk about. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and Reddit. All of those are at iReaditCast. If you want to follow me on social media, I'm at Schwan Michael, and Nathan is at Bimmenstein. Yeah, remember that the show is now live at 9 a.m. on Sunday mornings, thanks to Nathan's new schedule that seems to have him more dead than ever. But
Dude, I'm only dead because it's 8 in the morning, and I've been waking up at like, I don't know,
10?
11 plus for every day of the week except for today.
I believe it. All right. Well, and anyway, we're going to get out of here. We will see you next week, everybody. That is your 524th dose of the internet. I am Michael Schwan.
And I'm Keeley.
Keeley?
Yeah.
What is that from?
The Lord of the Rings.
Is it?
Yeah, it's one of the dwarves.
Damn, okay.
Feely, Keely, Oin, Gloin, Biffer, Boffer, Bofer.
Is that from the Hobbit dwarves?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I only watched the first one. I didn't pay that much of attention.
Roomba.
That's a vacuum.
It's a dwarf, whatever.
All right. And please remember, everybody.
Well, I didn't
Dumbo.
vote for you.
Goodbye. That's a
Bye.
fucking Disney elephant.
I mean, elephant, dwarf, they're the same thing.
Whatever. Racist.
They just got very large noses.
Whatever. Again, racist.
Wow, that's only racist because you are connecting it to racial things.
You said it.
Yeah, but not in a racial way. I'm just saying
I mean-
dwarves have large noses,
I
so
meant-
do elephants.
I'm ending the show now.
All right.
God damn you.